You ease your way through a narrow alley off 135th. The late summer air still hot enough to melt your collar. Overhead, a saxophone wails from an open window, and for a moment you think the night itself is humming the blues. You pull the club door and step into pure velvet darkness. Thick cigarette smoke coils under the ceiling fans, glass clinks like shy chimes, and all eyes turn toward the bandstand, where a lone trumpet glows under a single copper bulb. The horn lifts, and the first note rolls out slow, honey thick, so full of longing you swear it's calling your name. That sound, deep, mournful, alive, hooks you by the lapels and drags you forward until you're close enough to taste the metal in the air. You sense the room breathe with you. Couples sway in shadows, soldiers on leave tap their polished shoes, and every soul leans in as the trumpet gathers speed. The player, Sonny Bell, cheeks puffed, eyes half closed, pours war and sorrow and the promise of tomorrow into each riff. You can't stop staring, and neither can Leon Booker, the private detective posted at the edge of the bar. He's tall, coat draped over one shoulder like a second thought, hat tilted just enough to hide the scar above his eyebrow. You've heard the talk. Booker served in France, busted rackets on Lennox, and now keeps musicians out of the morgue when the city lets him. Suddenly, the front door slams open. Flashlights cut through smoke like razors. Police pour in, barking orders. A billy club crashes against a table, shattering glass and rhythm alike. The trumpet sputters to silence. You drop behind a chair, heart tripping over itself. Booker moves faster. He steps between the cops and the bandstand, palms up, voice calm as a lullaby. But they're not listening. They shove past him, grab Sonny Bell, twist his arm until the trumpet clatters to the floor. You hear Sonny shout, "I ain't killed nobody," just before a fist knocks him speechless. The cuffs snap, the crowd scatters, and the music dissolves into the night like sugar in dark coffee. Outside the club, squad cars blink red against brick walls. Reporters hover, pencils hungry. The captain announces that Sonny Bell is wanted for the murder of Roscoe Gaines, a numbers runner found stabbed behind the Lafayette Theatre an hour ago. Evidence: a blood-stained handkerchief stuffed inside Sonny's trumpet case. Motive: a fight over gambling debts, they claim. You watch Booker's jaw tighten. He knows Sonny's broke, but gambling, not his vice. Music is. Yet the patrol wagon clanks shut, and before you can blink, Sonny's rolling downtown while his horn lies abandoned in the gutter, mute and shining under the street lamp. You trail Booker as he marches to the curb, scoops up the trumpet, and wipes it clean with his pocket square. "Somebody planted that rag," he mutters, eyes scanning windows above. He looks at you, really looks, as if measuring whether the night will swallow you too. Then he asks the question that pulls you into the storm. "You hear what he was playing?" You nod, though you're not sure. Booker taps the trumpet valves and hums the melody. That tune ain't just a tune, it's a message. Why would a song be a message? You follow him down 7th, boots echoing between brownstones. Booker explains that during the war, musicians slipped codes into melodies for the Office of Strategic Services. A rising 3rd could mark a drop site. A flattened 7th might signal danger. Sonny served stateside, but he knew the language. Tonight, he blew a pattern Booker has only heard once before. In 42, right before an ammunition train derailed outside Newark. Sabotage, they said. Coincidence? Not tonight. Booker pushes into an all-night diner, orders coffee black, 2 cups. Neon buzzes overhead, slicing blue across his face. He lays out the facts like dominoes. Roscoe Gaines handled cash for a clandestine spy ring selling military secrets to the highest bidder. He laundered money through the clubs. Sonny lived for music, not money, yet he played that coded melody minutes before the cops arrived. If Sonny's innocent, someone used him as the world's loudest confession. Could the real murderer want Booker to hear it? He sips coffee, grimaces. Only one way to find out. We follow the song. You spend the next night canvassing Harlem's jittering veins. At Small's Paradise, the pianist swears Sonny never gambled, but Roscoe liked to flash war bonds like poker chips. At Minton's, a drummer tells you Roscoe argued with a woman in a red dress 3 nights back, her lipstick brighter than a fire alarm. Everywhere you go, the melody trails you, drifting from jukeboxes, whistled by kids on stoops, tapped out in Morse on matchbox lids. Someone wants the tune stuck in your head. Why? Booker circles a name in his notebook. Sergeant Oliver Trent, Army Intelligence, recently stationed at Fort J, known to frequent the clubs when leave allowed. Rumor says he woos singers with tales of glory and secret passwords. Booker thinks Trent's the inside man. Midweek, you sneak into the Savoy's after-hours rehearsal. Spotlights are off, but a moonbeam paints the dance floor silver. Booker lifts the trumpet to his lips, Sonny's trumpet, and plays the coded line softly. From a balcony, a velvet voice answers with the next phrase. You look up. A woman in a red dress leans over the rail, eyes gleaming. She descends the staircase with the grace of a cat and introduces herself as Delilah Cross. Her perfume drifts like midnight jasmine. She admits Roscoe was her cousin, but claims she tried to keep him straight. She heard the code too, and knows what it means. Shipment at dawn, Yankee Pier. Booker asks, who's handling the handoff? Delilah hesitates, glances at you, then whispers, Sergeant Trent. He's selling blueprints for the new proximity fuse. They'll trade on the roof of the Dunbar apartments just before sunrise. She folds a scrap of paper into Booker's palm, kisses his cheek, and disappears into the shadows before you can question her motives. Do you trust her? Booker weighs the trumpet like a judge's gavel. Time's thin. He calls in a favor with Lieutenant Harris at the 28th Precinct, the rare white officer who still owes him from a trench in Argonne. Harris pulls strings. Sonny is released under lack of evidence, but the DA keeps charges pending. Free, yet not free. Sonny meets you on the street, hollow-eyed, hands trembling around his horn like it might float away. Booker tells him to lay low, then hands over sheet music lined with fresh chords. At sunrise, play it loud enough for Harlem to wake up. Sonny nods, though he doesn't understand. 3 a.m., and you're climbing the dim stairwell of Dunbar, 6 stories up, each step smelling of lye soap and fried onions. Booker moves like water, silent, sure. Rooftop door creaks. Night air hits your lungs cool as mint. In the distance, the river shivers under moonlight. You spot 2 figures near the ledge. Sergeant Trent in uniform and Delilah Cross. Red dress, now cloaked by a grey coat. Between them, a leather case glints. Blueprints. Booker steps forward, gun holstered but hand ready. Evening, Sergeant. Fancy place for a trade. Trent whirls, hand reaching inside his jacket. Delilah steps back, eyes wide. Before words can settle, a hidden door slams behind you. 2 thugs emerge, one with a Luger, one with a crowbar. Booker dives left. You duck right, heart hammering. Shots crack, ricochet off water tanks. You crawl behind a vent, praying the sky doesn't shatter. Booker rolls, sweeps the Luger thug's legs, snatches the pistol, fires 2 quick rounds that send the crowbar skidding. Trent grabs Delilah, uses her as a shield, Drop it, Booker, or the lady sings her last note. He edges toward the stairwell. And then, from a courtyard below, a trumpet splits the air clear as church bells. Sonny's solo climbs the walls, that same coded melody but louder, bolder, commanding attention. Windows fly open, neighbors lean out, babies wake, dogs bark. Floodlights swing from patrol cars screeching to the curb. Lieutenant Harris yells through a bullhorn, "NYPD, roof, hands high." The tune shifts into a marching cadence, echoing across brick and fire escape, and for a heartbeat, the whole block vibrates with music and sirens. Trent's eyes flicker. Delilah twists free, stomps his instep, slaps the pistol aside. Booker charges, tackles Trent, fist meets jaw, both tumble against the parapet. You lunge, grab the blueprint case before it slides over the edge. The thugs surrender as officers storm the roof. Sunrise bleeds pink across the horizon, washing Harlem in soft fire. Harris cuffs Trent, reads charges of treason, sabotage, and murder accessory. Booker breathes out, long and slow, like a note held to the brink of breaking. Sonny arrives, trumpet still warm, tears streaking his cheeks. He thanks Booker, thanks you, thanks the dawn itself. Delilah stands alone, lipstick smeared, eyes on the rising sun. Booker approaches her. "You set the table, but you didn't know who'd come to dinner, did you?" She shrugs, says she loved Roscoe, hated what he'd become, wanted justice even if it meant betrayal. Booker nods, says Harlem's full of bent note-seeking resolution. Sometimes the only way to fix a melody is to play it through. Later that morning, back at the club, the floor is still sticky with last night's raid, but the band sets up anyway. Chairs scrape, cymbals hiss, and you feel the city resetting its heartbeat. Booker leans on the bar, orders coffee with 2 sugars this time. He tells you cases end, but stories keep swinging, and Harlem will always find a new riff. He taps the trumpet, signals Sonny, and the band launches into a fresh tune, bright and defiant. You ask Booker if the war ever really ends. He smiles, half sad, half hopeful. Maybe not, but music sure makes the foxholes feel like front porches. As you step outside into full daylight, the horn's final note sails after you, hanging in the blue like a promise. What will you remember most? The smoke, the sirens, the rooftop wind, or the simple way a trumpet can rewrite a man's fate? Keep the melody close. Next time the night turns mean, you'll know which song to play. So walk down 7th with your head high, pockets light, heart heavier but wiser. Harlem hums beneath your feet, alive with secrets, jazz, and second chances. And somewhere behind you, Leon Booker tips his hat. Another case closed, another chorus begun. The music never quits, and neither do you. That's the beat you carry, the shadow you step out of every single dawn.